All right, traders, welcome back to the channel. Today was an absolute roller coaster. We need to talk about exactly what happened, what I'm buying, and how we're moving going into next week. Today lined up perfectly with the overall TA. Now, when we align it and take a step back, no, we didn't get the exact bullish push that we wanted, but everything that we identified in the previous video let us know exactly what was going to continue to happen. So going into today, let's start off. So going into yesterday, we had that nice wedge. You started pushing up. You ended the day pretty strong above that median level right there on Nasdaq 14.5, and you continue pushing up. If you're new to the channel, futures are the key to everything when it comes to stocks, day trading, whatever it may be. Futures are going to tell you how the market's going to move and exactly where you should be trading it. So we're watching Nasdaq, and this is what happens. You have this high of yesterday right there. And immediately kind of this morning, because you have that stabilization overnight, and then this morning you start pumping up at around 3 a.m. roughly, double topping there. And then the market opens up about right here and you start just absolutely bleeding off. So in pre-market, before you even step to your computer, London Open, you get that peak right there, which we mentioned you were going to get a nice amount of volume coming into London and Europe Open, which you did. Great buying pressure, but that did not hold up and you could not break out of those previous levels, right? We're not changing anything. We're not moving anything. So you get rejected off that level and you kind of start breaking down. Now, this is where things got interesting in my opinion. So you start seeing the Nasdaq absolutely sell off. You come down to the local bottoms of yesterday as well, right there, double bottoming there, almost tripling at the end of the day. But then you start recovering very quickly back to VWAP. And I'm going to have a VWAP video coming out this weekend going over the specifics on what I use it, how I'm trading using it, and how it's kind of overall adjusting the flow in general when it comes to how I'm trading. Because I'm watching futures. Are they coming above VWAP? Are they coming back below it? Are they retracing to it? Are they scaling back up to it? This is going to tell you how the market's moving. And you can see today that push up was all about getting back to VWAP, specifically on Nasdaq. Now let's look at SPY. Now as we come into SPY, you can see you have your open right here. Your open is down. You start gapping down there. But SPY's chart looks a lot better. It's important to mention this is during market hours. Nasdaq goes 24/7. SPY is not. You can trade ES, things like that, but we're not getting into that right now. You can see you start to push back up and you get back to those previous highs. So we're going to look at Nasdaq here in a sec once again, but you can see those previous highs being retested, double topping there, and then boom, you get rejected, shoot back down below the 8 EMA, below the VWAP, and then your ending day roughly higher than where you started. So that's all in all pretty good. The SPY looks a lot better. If we're looking at the NASDAQ looks a whole lot worse. If we're looking at this, the NASDAQ significantly down, SPY's holding up much better. And just on that push, this is relative to how you pushed, right? So right here represents where the SPY reached its local high. Compared to yesterday during those trading hours, this was the local high on Nasdaq yesterday. This is today. This is pre-market. So you can see the Nasdaq and tech did not have that strength. That's when we look at something like Tesla. You're not pushing up that much. When you're looking at Amazon, you're not pushing up that much. What about Microsoft, right? You're not pushing up that much. You're not getting the strength on the market. Nvidia, you just didn't get the momentum that we wanted. So we just weren't trading towards the bull side. And personally for me, I only took one trade and it was with oil, which we'll get into that here in a second as well. But as you're looking here, there was just no strength. Now let's take a look at what the hedge funds were doing, where their liquidity was, and how that represented what happened with the indexes. So we're coming in and we're looking at ES. This is going to be telling our futures on the SPY basically and how you moved and where big money was flowing in. There's 2 points here. If you don't know, this is the heat map. Every day we're using it, and this is going to be our tool to show exactly what big money is doing and where those levels are. So there was 2 levels on the ES. You had your 4,500 here and then 4,520 up here. Now this is where things get interesting, and I have to believe bulls were never in control as we get into here. And I know it's going to hurt your eyes a little bit. We got to get in here. So what you see is you mounted above very early on, about 9:45. You mounted above 4,500, which is a level we couldn't hold for the past 3 days. But for today, we held it almost all day long. You can see you came back down. Buyers and liquidity got just absolutely stacked into that zone, and you never came back into that zone. You can see massive and violent buying, but you're ping-ponging all day long between 45.17, roughly 45.15, and then 4,500 flat. And then you end the day breaking below that level as well. You can see you not only do you break down here, you come up and retest it and get rejected. Going into Monday, this leads you with a bearish pattern. This is not good. This is showing that bears had total control, and I have a new indicator I'm going to be using as well with this in the next few days, and I'll be teaching you guys how I'm using it as well. But as of right now, looking at how the hedge funds are trading this, how the market is attacking this, in my opinion, this is downside pressure. You're seeing all that violent buying coming back up, but then sheer rejection once again at the 4,500 level. You're going to have to hold 4,500 on ES to remain strong. But as we look at Nasdaq, we have to believe that Nasdaq is leading the market. We have to believe this is leading the market, and this is set to absolutely start tanking. But what am I buying right now? Where do I see promise in the next few days? Now, you guys saw me mention Oxy yesterday, and I did cut this a little bit early today. I made some money on it. However, I had to cut. I had to control my risk. But where I started entering was about this level yesterday right there. You ended up breaking out of this overall channel to the upside, testing those local highs roughly, and things continue to look interesting. But as we look at oil, I believe oil is the hidden beast right now with the Russia ban that we have going on, and I don't believe you've even started bouncing. So as we look at oil, you can see this has maintained to be a demand zone over the past month and a half. You've come down to this $95 barrel, and look, you have been rejected nasty. You're in this downtrend. However, you're making those higher lows across the board. That is strong. That is good. I have to start buying this. I see the risk to reward here is highly in favor of the reward side to the upside, right? We are betting on a push up, and we are praying that we can get a bounce out of this resistance right there. But what am I looking for? I'm looking at USO, US oil. Now, if we look at US oil and how it's trading, you can see it's also following the same pattern as the barrel. But not only that, you're following that pattern. If we go take a look at Oxy and how it just traded, Oxy was following the same pattern, but it started getting major buyers today. Going to look at Exxon, the same pattern, started getting buyers today. So we're trading the lagger here. USO still gets a lot of volume. It's still a great stock overall. It's going to be a little bit of a slower mover, but the options are going to be a little bit cheaper, and they're going to hold their value as well. You're not just going to get absolute dumped on. So that's my play going into next week, and I'll still be even looking for more entries going into next week as well. I'll be adjusting and watching how it moves, so I'm not tied to these positions whatsoever, but I see the value here, and I see a massive upside. In the short term, I see upside to 76.5, and the longer term, we want to retest those highs, possibly retest on the safer side, 80 to 81. That could happen very much so in a hurry. And I think we're already seeing buyers starting to step back into oil very slowly but surely as you're confirming that bottom down here as well. That's going to wrap the video up. More content is coming, very short video. I'll have education videos coming out this weekend, so make sure you stay tuned. Every single day we're doing videos, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time, giving you the market updates Monday through Friday. On the weekends, they're a little bit more flexible. Like and subscribe. Once again, guys, more videos are coming. Have a good trading week.